Welcome, everybody, to the One Stage at a Time podcast, the podcast where we're playing through video games one stage at a time, not skipping a single stage. Right now, we are at the beginning still of Doom, the original Doom, coming out in 1993. Doom. The doomiest Doom. And today we are playing through Toxin Refinery. We have left the nuclear plant behind and we are wading through the disgusting toxins at the refinery. I'm Aaron Neeson. I am joined by my stalwart co-host, Andy Prim. Andy, hello.
Hello, Aaron. Good to see you.
Good to see you as well, my friend. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. I'm better now that I see your face.
Aw, you give me the warm and fuzzies, man.
Well, I do what I can. You're my buddy, and I love you.
Yeah, thank you. I love you too, man.
And you know what else I love? Fragging monsters.
Fragging monsters. Oh, baby. Oh, it feels so good. Oh, I get so excited just thinking about it. And there were monsters to frag in this level.
There were monsters aplenty. That is for damn sure.
Goodness gracious. So Andy is playing for me right now over Zoom. He's sharing with me the playthrough of this level. And I'm assuming this is on the insanity.
Ultraviolence. Yeah.
Ultraviolence, a step below insanity, because it's a little different from the version I played.
I was going to say, yeah, right off the bat, it's pretty different.
Yeah.
This is the third stage of the game, and stage 1, super simple. Stage 2, a little more complicated. Stage 3, they're really throwing it at you. There's a lot going on in this level, a lot for us to talk about here. So the opening room is it's like kind of a U shape, and at each top point of the U, there's a door going someplace else. And in the middle, there's a big pit of the toxin. I forget what they actually call it, officially, but it's damage floor. Basically, you do not want to fall in there because there's no way out. But in the version that you played, Aaron, what kind of enemies were in this area?
You had some possessed Marines and oh gosh, let me think. Had some possessed Marines and I think a couple imps.
Yeah.
But I just saw in the version that you're playing, there's some of the, what are they called? Pinkies?
Yeah. They're officially called demons, but they're affectionately known as pinkies.
Yeah.
And then there's also the invisible version of the demon, which is called a specter. So there's one each of those. And this would be their first appearance if you were playing on the UV difficulty.
Yeah, which I was not. Again, I played on Hurt Me Plenty. I think I played on Hurt Me Plenty. Now I'm like, did I play on super duper easy? Because
I'm too young to die.
Yeah, there are way more enemies on Ultraviolence than even the version that I played.
Maybe I need so many more.
Goodness gracious, there are.
It's great. It's so much fun.
Oh, it's great. It's very cool to watch, and I may have to just try it and get my ass handed to me just to see and try and wade through all the monsters. But yeah, no, it's this level, like you said, is probably the first real challenge of the game.
Absolutely, yeah. It's very difficult. It's reasonably difficult compared to the first two. It's a big step up, and there's a lot more to find too. And also, this level contains the first secret exit, which we will get into.
Oh.
Did you happen to find the secret exit, Aaron?
0% secrets again.
0%. Oh no!
I was looking. I looked so hard. I tapped on every wall. I'm going to start shooting every wall too now.
You're going to be mad when you see how you access the secret exit in this level.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm really interested to know.
Well, we just saw it in the recording here. I'm going to go back so you can see it again.
I knew that one of those damn giant blue doors.
Yeah, there's a section of a wall in this kind of circular room where you're pretty sure there's something behind it just by looking at the map. It's evident that something would be there. It's triggered by walking on a certain tile. So he walks on the tile, then goes back, and then when you get back there, it's open. But you have to go quick because it closes. You can, if you turn the sound up, you can very faintly hear the sound effect of a door opening, and that would be your only cue. but it's an extremely obtuse secret. And I remember looking for a good long time for the way to get in there and never finding it. Eventually, I resorted to a guide for this one.
Yeah, you'd almost, you'd almost need to. Like, there are so many secrets, and I have no idea how to get to any of them. Of them.
We're going to learn you by the time we're through here, buddy.
I have a feeling that I'm going to play through every single level and at least on the first playthrough have 0% secrets found.
Yep, probably. I mean, but it's okay. We won't judge you. I mean, we'll judge you a little bit, but we'll only lightly mock you.
I know you're judging me, Andy. I don't care. I don't care. I answer to myself and myself alone, and I'm judging me, but I don't care that you're judging me.
Well, we'll talk more about all the secrets and such, but on the whole, what did you think of the Toxin Refinery?
I loved it. I thought this level was very cool. Right out the get-go, that music, man.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of spooky, a little scary.
This track is called Dark Halls.
Yeah, and it's awesome. I loved it. Just from the very beginning, I was like, "Oh, all right, here we go."
Another absolute banger by Bobby Prince.
Hell yeah, it was great. But yeah, no, I thought that this level, I love the spooky music. Tons and tons of enemies, which was fun.
So many enemies.
This was the first real Doom feel. My main Doom experience has been the 2016 version, and that's just wading through wave after wave of enemies, and it's so fun. And so this was very reminiscent of that. A feel that they transferred very well from this version into 2016.
Especially on Ultraviolence, there's just hordes of enemies. They just keep coming. There's so many of them.
It's causing me anxiety, watching this video you're playing.
There's some good ambushes. When you grab the blue key, which we're about to see, there's a really good ambush where the lights go out and a bunch of imps come out of a secret door behind you.
Yeah.
If you didn't know that was there, you're going to have a bad time.
I didn't know that was there. It really surprised me, but I had a blast.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I was like, oh my gosh. And blah, 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 blah. But
that's the great thing about Doom. You're not mad when you get surprised like that. It's usually a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a game where you're complete badass who could get his ass handed to him at any moment, and it's awesome.
Yes. And the game teaches you that ambush is a little treacherous, and they get worse from here, but you learn to anticipate them and to expect that it's coming. And
you get more powerful. Your power only grows as the game goes on.
Doomguy is powered by rage, and he just gets angrier and angrier as the levels go on.
Well, motherfuckers keep shooting him. I'd get angry too.
Yeah. They should know better by this point,
right? He really is like the Hulk. He just hordes of demons swarm him and shoot fireballs at him, and he just gets pissed off, and he just gets more rip and tearing.
Rip and tear intensifies. Perpetual torment.
And all the bite of his sword.
Because I was curious about lore, I read a little bit, a few spoilers for Doom Eternal. I won't tell them all. Well, I won't tell any of them to you, but suffice to say, they do a lot of lore on the Doomslayer himself and his origins and personal history, which I can't say I'm a huge fan of. I kind of like not knowing much about him other than that he's just super pissed off. But they do flashbacks and things like that to kind of explain who he is and where he came from.
Yeah, and I like both. I'm okay. I would be okay with you as just this totally, completely nameless protagonist who had no backstory whatsoever, or it was completely shrouded in mystery. But at the same time, it is kind of fun to learn, just why is he so pissed off? Where did he come from that this is affecting him so?
Yeah. What could possibly make a man this angry?
Was he always angry? Did he get angry because of this?
Was it because Tim Allen's TV show Last Man Standing was canceled?
Is the Doomguy a conservative like hack? Like
he's really mad about statues being torn down. Louis the Ninth was a great leader in the 1200s. He deserved sainthood.
Why are you trying to tear down our history? I'm not French, but it's keep the statue up. I like statues.
Right. It's important to remember our history, even when it's the history of the villains. That's why in Germany they have statues of Nazis everywhere.
That's right. That's right.
Otherwise, no.
We'd have no idea who Hitler was if it wasn't for the statues.
Yeah, people would forget. It's like you go into a church, the first thing you see is a statue of Satan.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that's at my church.
Yeah, well, you're a member of the Church of Satan.
He gives us apples.
Dude, the Church of Satan's pretty tight, actually. Yeah, salute to those guys.
Yeah, they're doing Satan's work.
All right, let's get back to the Toxic Refinery. So this is a pretty cool stage. I agree with you. I like it a lot. It's really fast paced. There's a lot going on. It's dangerous. There's a lot of badass enemies in this level. Mm-hmm. Now, I played on both Ultraviolence and Hurt Me Plenty, so I don't quite remember. But Aaron, when you played this stage, did you encounter any pinkies?
Yeah, just one, though.
Okay.
So that's, again, one of the reasons I'm like, did I play it on Hurt Me Plenty? Like, that seems like, considering how many there are in Ultraviolence, like, that's a huge leap.
Yeah, there's a lot more.
7 or 8 or whatever. Yeah, and especially invisible ones. So I'm like, maybe I accidentally played it on a lower difficulty because I only saw one.
That's probably the case in Nightmare. I mean, I think that in Ultraviolence, there's like they're in that opening corridor and they're in the one later around the toxic pool. So I know that definitely those ones aren't there. And I think there's more of them in like the square area where you pick up the yellow key. Mm-hmm. Where there may just be one. That might be where like the only one is on Hurt Me Plenty. I'm not sure.
That's where I saw it, in the square area with the giant blue doors.
Yeah. What do you think of the pinky?
They're cool and they're scary, but 2 shotgun blasts and they're down.
Yeah.
So ultimately they weren't too bad, especially since they're also melee.
Yep. Yeah, they're melee only. I agree. They're really not too bad.
Yeah.
2 shotgun blasts right on will take him out. If you're not that accurate, 3 or 4. They kind of get stunned. So even if they're right in your grill, if you blast them with the shotgun, that kind of knocks them back and stuns them long enough for you to blast them again before they would hit you with their melee attack. So a single pinky by himself is not that dangerous as long as you have your shotty ready. The chain gun will also stun lock them. They're really only dangerous if they're accompanied by other enemies and you can't deal with them one at a time.
Yeah. I didn't have any trouble with him when I ran into him. I was more surprised, and they are much more of a hassle in Doom 2016. So I was kind of bracing myself for a battle. I was just like, oh, he's dead.
Yeah, they are much more threatening in Doom 2016.
Yeah.
So let's see. We in the previous episode, the nuclear plant, there was a hidden chain gun, which I believe you were unable to discover. It's a well hidden secret. But what about in Toxin Refinery? Did you find the chain gun here?
No.
Okay.
No. And that we're watching this video, and I keep seeing that blue face pop up. That was with the chain gun in the previous episode or the previous level. And it was taunting me this entire level because you see it pretty early on. And I'm like, how do I get there? How do I get there? Now I know it's that blue door with the tile you hit to open it that leads you there.
Right. Yeah. It's a certain section of the stairs that when you touch them, it causes like a wall to open. Mm-hmm. Actually, 2 segments of wall to open, and it's the same for both. You have to run and get there before it closes up. Yeah. But that's where you would find the access to the chain gun, as well as that blue soul sphere, as well as a switch that leads to the secret exit of this stage. This is the first stage with the secret exit. Each episode has a secret level. And this is the way you get to the secret level from Knee Deep in the Dead. So if you discover the secret level, you would go there, and then after you beat the secret level, you jump back into the regular sequence. So this is E1M3, and then if you get the secret exit, you jump to E1M9, and then from there you jump back to E1M4. So the next episode of this series will actually be E1M9.
Interesting. We're gonna have to discuss that because I think I got confused.
No, but yeah, it's confusing.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I found 0% of secrets again because that's just what I do. I stumble around blindly and find nothing.
Yeah. I didn't find that. I didn't find the secret exit or the secret stage the first time I played through Knee Deep in the Dead. I found a secret exit in one of the later episodes, naturally, and that's when I realized that there were actually secret maps in this game. But a lot of people probably missed this. It's pretty well hidden. In the first central area, there's like a path, or there's like a pit with toxin in it. And if you fall down there, you die. There's nothing down there. It's a death trap. And you can usually tell when something's a death trap because it has those little yellow triangular caution signs. But you kind of know that something's past that. You're able to see, other areas that seem to be through there. So you kind of get the sense that somehow you might be able to create a bridge over that. But figuring out how to create the bridge is what's very tricky.
Yeah, I nope, nothing. I was able to in that pit later. In that pit, I was able to make it rise up, but that one's a pretty easy secret.
Yeah,
that apparently also doesn't count as an actual secret.
No, I don't think it does. You fall in the middle of the pit and hit the switch.
Yeah. So what at the beginning area, where does that lead? I remember
Yeah. So when you raise that bridge, it leads to a room that's just chock full of possessed Marines. And you can see that room earlier. There's a door that you open, but it only comes open like halfway. And it's kind of a window into a lower room. And you can see all those Marines. You can actually shoot them through the window and kill them that way. And then, so there's a room there. You just don't know how to get into it. But once you access the secret, you'll be able to get in that room properly by crossing that toxin bridge. And then you get in the room where all those Marines are. There's a Pinky and some other enemies that pop out of the wall. And then as you go in further, a bunch of walls open and a bunch of imps come out. And so it's just ambush after ambush here.
Well, you're not trapped in there with them. They're trapped in there with you.
Yeah, that's right. And hopefully you have some good firepower. You can have the chain gun by this point, either by finding it in this level or the previous level. And that's a big help in dealing with big rooms full of enemies. There's also another new weapon in this stage. Aaron, did you find the rocket launcher?
You know the answer to that, Andy.
Unfortunately, yes, I do.
Yeah. So I'm watching this video you're playing with for us, and the person playing found the rocket launcher, and it does not look like a rocket launcher to me. Like,
not really. Yeah, it's just like a big tube.
Yeah, which is what a rocket launcher is. But since I think that I'm just so used to having rocket launchers in first-person shooter games be over your shoulder.
Yeah.
No matter what, they're raised and hanging out there, having this just tube right in front of your face, and then that animation does not look particularly like rockets, so it doesn't read for me.
It looks a little funky for sure. For the time, I think the way this is animated was probably pretty sophisticated.
Yeah,
it looks like just this little round orange projectile that shoots out pretty fast from your rocket launcher.
If you know what you're looking at, you see it.
Yeah.
If someone says this is a rocket launcher and then you see the animation and the projectile going forward, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, that's a rocket launcher. But before,
yeah, it's like you have to suspend your disbelief a little bit.
A little bit.
Well, the rocket launcher is a projectile. It's not hit scanning the way the shotgun and the chain gun do. It's an actual projectile that can miss its intended target. Like if the enemy moves out of the way, the shell won't hit it, or the rocket won't hit it. But it does do splash damage. So even if you miss, it'll if it explodes, it can still hurt stuff around it.
Gotta love that splash damage.
Yep.
You were in my blast radius.
So the rocket is a very powerful weapon. You can hold 50 rockets normally, but with the ammo backpack full of ammo upgrade, you can hold up to 100 rockets, which is a staggering amount of rockets. And its rate of fire is actually pretty fast too. So it's a powerful weapon. You got to be careful though, because if you fire at point blank range, it'll explode and hurt you too. Mm-hmm. So you really have to be careful when you're operating the rocket launcher. However, it can tear through big groups of enemies. It can blast pinkies in one hit, and some of the more powerful enemies that we'll see later fall before the rocket launcher pretty swiftly.
Okay, so quick question for you, kind of a side little tangent here, but in video games, so for the longest time and still now in many games, you can just carry unlimited weapons with unlimited ammo, and just like, you know, your inventory is completely full of weapons and bullets. Do you like that, or do you like a small amount of like quote unquote realism, like in like Halo, when you can carry two weapons and your pistol? I think, you know, because that's what they can carry. Or in like Gears of War, you know, you have two weapons and you can switch back and forth between those, because that's what a person would really be able to carry, you know?
Yeah.
I think I know your answer to this, but just humor me.
I definitely prefer the Doom style.
That's what I thought you'd say.
I've played a lot of Gears of War with you, and I enjoy that game and that franchise. But I prefer not having to worry about, you know, how many weapons I have. And, you know, I don't have to worry about choosing which weapon's going to be right for which situation. I also love that in Doom, you don't even have to reload. You just fire infinitely. It's incredible. So I like that more arcadey style. In general, I think I prefer games that are not realistic to games that are realistic, because I play video games to escape reality, which is harsh and unforgiving.
I mean, you know, this is like, sure, I know what you're saying, but at the same time, like, there is this, like, Doom and games like Doom where you can just carry however unlimited, essentially. Like, it sort of scales the amount of weapons that you have to use. So, like, you know, like, you may have like 1,000 bullets, but you're going to encounter enough enemies where 1,000 bullets is cutting it close, you know?
That's true. Yeah. You will eat through all that ammo.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, it still creates the same problem of like having to manage your inventory and your weapons. It's just almost on a larger scale. I kind of prefer the more quote unquote realistic way, because it's less to have to keep track of.
In a way, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. In Doom 1993, there's only 4 types of ammunition that are shared between different kinds of guns. The rocket, I think, is the only one. Well, I guess the shotgun shells too. Those are exclusive to one weapon, but the other types of ammunition are shared among different weapons. So you only have to worry about 4 kinds of ammo pickups, which is nice. I like that style because I don't know, it's just very simple. In like Gears of War, and I love Gears of War, don't get me wrong, but you know, it's like there's really powerful weapons like the Hammer of Dawn or like the sniper rifle. But if you go for those, you have to give up something else. You know, it's like, do you give up your pistol? Do you give up your shotgun? Do you give up your Lancer? Answer: no, never give up the Lancer.
Never give up your Lancer.
You're crazy if you give up the Lancer. And you can accidentally drop the Lancer, which happens to me a lot because I'm not that good at those types of games. And it's really frustrating. You know, it's like, oh God, when am I going to be able to get my Lancer back? All I want to do is chainsaw guys in half, and it won't let me do it.
I always played with one of my, like, the Lancer you almost always keep, but if I had to pick, like, switch it up, I would have the shotgun and the sniper. So like, I'd have something up close, have something from far away.
Yeah. I would usually go Lancer, sniper rifle, probably, if given my druthers.
Yeah, you got your mid range, and which can also do close real good. And,
that other rifle, the hammer burst, I remember being pretty all right too.
It was all right. It was very different with its single shot and zoom in mode. So it was a good mid long.
If the Lancer wasn't available, then the hammer burst was an okay substitute.
Oh yeah, it did its job in a pinch.
All right. Back to Doom, where we're a bit more limited in our loadout here. Your resources are limited. It really encourages you to press forward and not stop. You only have so much ammo, so you can't, like, if you're running low on ammo, you just have to keep running through the map to find more ammo, kill more guys so that they drop ammo, and then you can pick up more ammo.
Yeah,
it's a constant cycle.
Yeah, I haven't had to resort to punching anything yet.
There's times later when you almost get there, like when you're down to your mitts or your chainsaw, if you're lucky enough to have it.
I haven't had to, so I don't know, how effective is punching?
Not very effective.
I would imagine so. But I'm like, the Doom guy's pretty strong. Maybe he's got a really good punch actually, but I guess not.
Not
or at
really.
least not against demons.
You never want to be in a situation where all you can do is punch. Against like a possessed marine, it's okay, but anything tougher than that, punching is a bad idea.
Mm-hmm. Slappers only in Doom is not a happy time.
Yeah. Slappers only, one hit kills. I did my personal challenge of starting this fresh on ultraviolence from the level select screen, and it was a pretty good challenge on this stage, starting with just the sidearm in that first room that is just full of possessed marines, as well as a pinky and a specter, is pretty tricky.
Yeah.
You have to kind of run past the pinkies at first and acquire a shotgun from one of the down shotgun guys, and then turn around and finish them off. But it requires some finesse. After you get the shotgun, everything kind of gets a lot smoother from there. That's kind of the name of this game, is just get the shotgun, and then you're doing pretty good. You're 90% of the way to where you need to be.
It's like a security blanket. It's like, everything will be all right. You have the shotgun now, the double barrel murder machine.
Yep. It's all you need, baby. Mm-hmm. It really is so satisfying. I mean, the default weapon in so many situations.
Yeah, most, especially since it like has the range too. Like,
it's so versatile.
It really is. You can murder people with your shotgun from 100 yards.
There are a few situations in this stage where having the rocket launcher can be pretty beneficial. Mm-hmm. There's that big open area where there's that donut-shaped ring over a bunch of toxin, and at the far side of it, especially on UV mode, there's a bunch of pinkies and a bunch of other enemies on the far side of it, but you can pick them off pretty easily with the rocket launcher, and they're all kind of clustered together too, so you can blast a bunch of them in one go.
Yeah, I can see how the rocket launcher would have been a big help there.
We should talk about gibbing. Gibbing is something that happens in this game when you destroy an enemy with enough explosive force, like enough. If you do enough damage that it's like double the enemy's normal HP, instead of their normal death animation, which is already pretty gruesome, you'll get a secondary animation called gibbing, where they just explode from the inside out into a pile of gore, which I've paused an example of that on the screen for us to admire.
Yeah, it's pretty gruesome. It's like
it's like you dropped a can of tomato sauce.
Yeah, or like in Galaxy Quest when that pig monster explodes.
Yeah, oh dude, that movie's so good.
It's so good. And that was a surprisingly gruesome moment for a silly comedy like that.
It is. They're trying to use the transporter to bring him up, and they're like, "We'll test it on the pig monster first."
What's that squealing sound I hear up there, guys? It's fine. Everything's fine. But the creature is inside out. And it exploded.
Good thing they got that right on the second try.
Oh, yeah, when they actually got Tim Allen up there, yeah.
Yeah, when they actually get Tim Allen.
Although, I wouldn't mind seeing him turn inside out and explode. That'd be fun.
You know what, Tim Allen, he may have some difficult political beliefs and probably is like a bad person all around, but I'll never get tired of Home Improvement.
What do you mean the cocaine dealer is a bad dude?
He paid his debt to society. he did a night in jail and then ratted on all his friends.
Yeah. What a swell guy. He's Buzz Lightyear. He's all right.
He's Buzz Lightyear. He's Tim the Toolman Taylor. You know, he's you look. You can talk about canceling celebrities all you want. I'm still going to watch Home Improvement, and I don't care what anybody says.
I haven't watched it in forever. I liked it as a kid, but
it's still pretty funny, honestly. Like,
yeah,
you know. Unsurprisingly, the family and gender politics are extremely problematic and dated, but the jokes and especially the Tool Time segments are just immortal. You never get tired of those.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, Al Borland's the fucking man.
Oh yeah, he makes the whole thing.
Yeah, and you know, Heidi ain't too bad either.
Yeah, Heidi's really easy on the eyes, that's for sure. Okay, well, let's see. What else do we need to say about the Toxin Refinery? I think we've covered most of the stuff about it. It's a much more complex level. You get a blue key and a yellow key here. Lots of secrets. Just about every weapon we've seen so far is available here. We've got a rocket launcher in this stage. Fully half of this stage, more or less, is hidden, locked behind secret areas. And additionally, the first secret exit of the game. So this is really a turning point.
Yeah. This early, they're throwing all sorts of stuff at you and all this new shit. And I'm wondering what nightmares and surprises the future episodes and levels hold for us, because this really was a lot.
It was a lot, yeah. And it only gets worse from here, so buckle up.
Yeah, baby. I'm ready for it. I'm here for it. Let's do it.
We love the pain.
Hurt me plenty.
Okay, well, coming up next, we're going to follow. I think if you feel differently, say so, Aaron. But I think we're going to follow the more or less intended path of the game. So after E1 M3, we found the secret exit. Or at least we saw a video of the secret exit. And so now we're moving to E1 M9, which is the military base. And after that, we will pick up with E1 M4 and continue on through the natural route through the game.
And that is command control, right?
Command control. Yeah, that's E1 M4.
Okay, so we go to military base and then command control. So that means I got to replay this level and do that secret level, secret exit, huh?
This is one stage at a time. We're not skipping any stages.
So if you don't do the secret level, you never get to see. You don't do the secret exit. You never get to see E1 M9.
You never see it. Yeah, it never shows up.
Okay. Well, let's do it. E1 M9. Here we come. Military
baby.
Base, right?
Military base, yeah. It's I think you're gonna like it. It's a fun level.
Okay, let's do it. Fuck yeah.
Giddy up.
Fuck yeah.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for this exciting episode of One Stage at a Time. The Toxin Refinery has been crossed off on the map. We're moving on now to the military base. Please join us in about a week's time when we'll be playing through that level and giving our opinions on it. In the meantime, tune in for our side quest series, which should be coming out with a new episode this weekend, where we're still continuing on our journey through Sonic the Hedgehog for the Sega Game Gear. But Aaron, what do you want to say to the fine folks at home before we sign off?
I want to say thank you for listening, everybody. Please subscribe and share with your friends if you're enjoying this podcast. Go to onestageatatime.com for all of our things, our socials, or send us an email and drop us a voice message if you're so inclined. And we'll see you guys next time. Andy, why don't you give us that sign off, baby?
Save and continue.
You know how I like it.